Hi guys, we're on VM24.com and today we're taking apart the Samsung Galaxy A55. First, as usual, we need to remove the SIM card tray. For this, we use a SIM ejector tool, insert it into the hole and gently push out the tray, which is located at the top. Next, we need to heat the back cover surface to around 70 degrees Celsius or 160 degrees Fahrenheit. We use a heating mat for this, but you can also use a hairdryer. And after 5 to 7 minutes, we can move on to detaching the back cover. To detach the back cover, we use a thin plastic film. This film can be the protective film from a new display or a film from a stationery store. We carefully insert it into the gap between the back cover and the mid-frame, then gently slide it along the edge to cut through the adhesive. As always, be extra careful around the camera area to avoid accidentally touching the lenses. And now we can open the cover. As you can see, there is nothing on the back cover itself. After this, we move on to unscrewing the top screws. For this, we use a 1.5 mm crosshead screwdriver or a Phillips #3O. It is best to place the screws on a special surface in a specific order, just in case. So, after removing the screws, use a non-metallic tool to pry off the top cover. So, why non-metallic? To avoid short-circuiting anything on the motherboard. Okay, we set the cover aside. After this, we also use a non-metallic tool to disconnect the battery connector. Now it is best to cover the camera lenses. For this, we use special protective film. Please note that we stick the film not directly on the lens, but onto the rim surrounding the camera module. After this, we move on to unscrewing the screws in the bottom section. For this, we also use a 1.5 mm Phillips screwdriver. It is best to keep these screws separate from the previous ones. After removing the screws, we can detach the bottom cover with a speaker. We carefully pry it up at the correct spot, lift gently and remove the cover that houses the speaker. Next, we disconnect the antenna and the interboard flex cable connectors. Disconnect all connectors and move the interboard cables aside. Then we disconnect the fingerprint sensor connector and unscrew two screws securing the subboard. These screws differ from the previous ones. They are small and black. Keep them separate from the other screws. Now we can remove the subboard. Lift it gently, slide it out and take care not to damage the fingerprint sensor flex cable. The subboard contains the charging port, microphone and other components on its reverse side. In our traditional microphone opening test, the microphone hole is located in the display frame and has L-shaped design. Behind this opening is a protective membrane. The actual microphone unit is mounted on the reverse side of the subboard, therefore, if we insert anything into the microphone opening, we cannot damage the microphone this way. And now moving to the top section. Here we can disconnect the front-facing camera. We detach it carefully. It is also better to cover the camera lens so that dust doesn't get on it. The connectors of the other rear cameras are traditional for this series, located on the back side. We will disconnect them later. Now we need to remove the single screw securing the motherboard. For this, we again use a 1.5 mm Phillips screwdriver. And now we proceed to detach the motherboard. Carefully lift it at the correct spot, remove it, then flip it over to disconnect the rear cameras. Okay, we gently disconnect the cameras and set them aside. And now we can remove the motherboard and cameras. While here, let's quickly check the top microphone opening. It has the same L-shaped design with a protective membrane behind the opening. The microphone unit itself is mounted on the reverse side of the motherboard. As with the bottom microphone, inserting anything here won't damage it. And finally, we move on to disconnecting the battery. Traditionally, for this year's series, we have a blue tab that needs to be pulled up and two transparent tabs on the edges that need to be turned as far as possible to size so that they don't interfere with us. So we carefully turn the tabs to the side and pull the tab in the middle up to disconnect the battery. And well, actually already familiar to the Samsung and this type of battery fixation. On one hand, the adhesive film was joined due to the heating of the battery, most likely. We try to leave the battery and find the place where the film was joined to the battery. There is no need to use force so as not to accidentally damage the battery casing. And finally, we remove the battery. This is the end of our disassembly. Thank you for watching and see you in the next videos or on our Telegram channel or on our website. Okay guys, now we're done. Thank you for watching. If you like what we do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel or read our articles on our website. Take care of yourself and until next video.